I see. I know what you are. Don't worry. I'll be gentle.
Alright YouTube, let's get into this. Before I actually get into talking about the game, I just want to quickly mention that I had to use the free music provided by YouTube on the section where Dante's doing his little Michael Jackson dance. And the reason for that is because even a little bit of music that has crept into a few of my videos in the past has been hit with a copyright claim. So without further ado, let's talk about Devil May Cry 5. And Devil May Cry 5, in my opinion, has, as a hack and slasher adventure type of game, is, I would say it's a pretty good game. Let down by a few minor things, and we'll talk about them later. But first, I wanna give credit to this game and to the developers, because this game looks absolutely stunning. And if you are one of the few who own a 1X and a 4K TV, or a display that is capable of pushing out 4K, then you will see that this game looks absolutely stunning. Visually, this game is fantastic, and it definitely, you know, when you boot this game up, you can tell that this is definitely a new game. The character models, they look absolutely wicked. I mean, the mocap, as you can see, Nico here, Nico who is in charge of building you new gear, and you can customize your character from Nico. Nico drives a van and she has everything in the van. And the other way of customizing things is via these statues that be scattered around the place. But Nico is the main person to get to. And we also get the traditional space where you can test out, you know, your moves before you actually buy them. And as I've mentioned before, visually this game is impeccable. It looks absolutely stunning. There are scenes where it gets kind of dark, and there's, you know, scenes where, you know, where your character or your player is out and about in daylight, and in both instances, you know, the game handles it perfectly. And as I've mentioned, the character models, not only, you know, the main characters who you control, but the enemies, the demons look absolutely wicked too.
Nice.
And as you can tell, well, if you're familiar with any of the Devil May Cry games, then you'll be familiar with the way they introduce the villains, the demons, the bosses, the way, you know, the story goes. And the game is basically, you know, same old Devil May Cry, but, you know, little tweaks here and there which make it, you know, very modern. And I wouldn't say they made it too casual, because by no means is this game a piece of cake. It's definitely not an easy game to complete, but then again, I wouldn't say it's really that difficult either. I never really got a chance to try it on the harder difficulties, but even on the average, the normal difficulty that I was playing it on, it wasn't exactly easy.
Well, then I guess we keep going. The Devil's Sword Sparta is nearby.
And this guy here is V. He's a new character. He's very emo, very moody, and doesn't really do much. He controls a bird and a cat and some sort of behemoth of a demon, and just uses them to fight basically. And other than that, he doesn't really do anything else other than jump in at the last minute and give out the finishing touch. in my opinion, the game basically breaks up into 3 sections. You control Nero, you control V, and you control Dante. And in my opinion, the V sections have to be, you know, the worst part of this game. The sections where you control V are by far the most boring and most tedious of, you know, of the rest of the game. The V isn't the only letdown in my opinion. And if you've watched or seen any of the other videos on YouTube, pretty much everybody agrees that V is a very boring character.
See ya!
The characters, the way they, you know, the way they banter with each other, it's very, you know, it's got a very sort of Hollywood type of vibe to
I thought
it.
you were gonna shish kebab me. I know how stubborn you can be. I thought it might be the only way to wake you.
What day is it?
The 15th of June.
A month? No wonder I'm so stiff.
Right, Sunshine. Now put a fire under it. We gotta get going because that annoying pimple Nero is making a beeline for Eurus, and if he gets there, he's gonna...
Somebody call a doctor?
I wasn't expecting any survivors!
Sorry to disappoint you. Hey, you happen to see a guy around here, about this big, uses a cane? I was supposed to meet him. Did you snack on him?
Your blood is a very precious sacrifice. Eating you would do me no good. I must have every last drop to rule the underworld as king.
King? You? I don't know. I mean, you're a big guy and all, but you seem more like a knuckle-scrapping fart in the wind than anything else. No offense.
Do you know who I am? I shall show you the wrath of the mighty Goliath!
Cool trick! Hey, do you do parties?
Now, without, you know, dwelling on V too much, I mean, V is definitely
Yeah, he's a real pro at smacking demons around. That's why I built him that well-functioning arm. To kick demon ass.
V is definitely let down, but the combat, the meat and potatoes of this game, when controlling Nero or Dante, especially Dante, the combat is absolutely fantastic and definitely in line with some of the previous Devil May Cry games. And if you're not familiar with any of the Devil May Cry games, then basically, in a nutshell, Devil May Cry games are stylized, combat-driven games. The main character Dante himself, is absolutely cool, calm, collected in the midst of, you know, apocalypse, basically, chaos and destruction. And the story of the game is typical, you know, Devil May Cry type of storyline. But in my honest and most brutal opinion, I have to say that I actually had more fun playing DMC by Ninja Theory than I did with this. And the reason for that is like I mentioned before, one thing is V. The character V is definitely, you know, a downer. And also the fact that at certain points, Capcom wants you to deplete your red orbs, and you actually use your red orbs to continue the game, and they want you to buy more red orbs in order to carry on with the game. And that to me just, I don't know, it didn't sit well with me. Microtransactions are pathetic, and in this case, in my opinion, they kind of ruined this experience of a game for me.
All this time, and
you know, you could be having fun playing this game, you know, trying out different variations of combat, but it's ruined by such a small thing as, you know, buying red orbs.
It has begun.
But don't let the, you know, the microtransactions and the sections of the, you know, get you off on trying out this game, because if you are able to look beyond these issues, you will definitely have a lot of fun playing this game. I mean, if you're a Devil May Cry fan, then, you know, you should already be sold on it. And if you're not a Devil May Cry fan, but you enjoy playing hack and slash adventure type games, then again, you will have a ball of a time playing this game, definitely. I can guarantee that. I myself absolutely enjoyed this, and given the chance, I'd probably go through it again. I never really got a chance to actually complete the story, but I mean, by the time I got to quite close to the end, and the game just wanted me to purchase all levels and pay for them rather than earn them. I thought to myself, it's not really worth it.
Looks like this won't be a total waste of time after all.
But I mean,
I'm waiting on you. I'm cooking. Any special orders?
not tonight, baby. Not tonight. Maybe some other day. But yeah, this is Nico, and Nico is in charge of building Nero's Devil Bringer arms, or Devil Breakers. Yeah, I think they call it Devil Breakers. Sorry, Devil Breaker arms.
You better take care of that.
And you can buy moves and you know, all customization things from Nico basically, and Nico runs all of this from her van. And Nico herself, the way they've designed her, she looks really good and she sounds good, and the banter between her and other characters is actually quite hilarious. And as I mentioned before, there's sections where you play in, you know, darkly lit environments, or as I should say, low lit environments, and there are sections where it's, you know, daylight out and about. And in both instances the game looks absolutely fantastic. I was actually quite surprised at how well and how good this game really looked. But not only does it look really good, it actually, you know, when you get a chance to play Dante, you begin to realize of, you know, the depth of the moves and what you can do. And in my opinion, I would say it definitely is a pretty good game, and it's definitely worth a purchase if you're a hack and slash fan or a Devil May Cry fan. I would say combat wise it's not as innovative as DMC by Ninja Theory was. I mean, it uses some ideas from that game, but in my opinion the plot of DMC by Ninja Theory was more appealing to me than the plot of this game. Once you get deep into the storyline of this game, you begin to realize that it's not as deep as you would wish it to be. But nonetheless, without concentrating too much on the plot, and focusing on the way the game looks and the way the game feels when you actually, you know, when you play it. So once you actually do get into upgrading your character's movesets and whatnot, or their gear, you begin to realize that it is, you know, the game is quite deep, and you know, certain upgrades of gear and character movesets is necessary to progress. So in my opinion, if you haven't actually already played this game, then I would recommend either getting it if you're into this type, or at least trying it on something like Game Pass, because I'm sure it's on the Game Pass as well, and it's definitely worth a try. Definitely worth. If you've got the Game Pass, I would highly recommend that you download this and you give it a good try. You won't be disappointed, especially if you're playing on the Game Pass.
What? No chit chat or monologue? Just getting right to the point, huh?
In typical Devil May Cry fashion, the game introduces the sub-bosses and the main bosses in a very Devil May Cry unique manner, which, if you've ever played a game called Bayonetta, I mean, the people who made Bayonetta were actually ex-Devil May Cry team, and they do something similar in Bayonetta too. The way they introduce the sub-bosses and the main bosses, and just like Devil May Cry, the story and plotline of Bayonetta is also very out of this world and very, you know, crazy and ridiculous. And here is V with his demon pets, and the big behemoth just jumped in on the scene, getting in on the action. But yeah, like I said, the V sections for me were very underwhelming. But I mean, apart from the
Neat hog. I never liked this guy.
You catched. You know you.
Dumb as a box of rocks. Let's not even mess with this guy, V. He can't even leave the Clyphod anyway. Just a Clyphod parasite.
You insult me.
Uh-oh.
You insult me.
I think he hurt me.
yeah, in typical, you know, DMC fashion, as I mentioned before, the sub-bosses are, you know, introduced in a very unique manner where there's a bit of an exchange of dialogue between the hero and the villain. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I mean, I put a lot of effort into it, and hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was somewhat informative, and I hope by seeing this footage that I've captured that you get some form of idea of how this game looks and plays. So please like, share and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, then I welcome you, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Let's go.
Hopefully.
Once we are near the Sparta, even I should be able to sense its presence.
Yeah, I hope I never sense your presence, mate. But anyway, this is Critical Q signing off, and I'll see you guys later.